Hi, this is Jamie Davis from telecoms.com here in Cape Town at AfricaCom. So I've managed to pull Luke Eves from Kontron out of a few meetings just to have a brief chat about what's going on in the Africa market. So Luke, just to start with, obviously it's been a great show here this week.
Absolutely.
What are the big talking points that you've picked up from being being on the agenda and also talking to people around the conference?
What is interesting on the market in Africa, it's moving extremely fast. But at the same time, there's a lack of education about what is actually SD-WAN NAV fully, but also to take advantage of the transformation and the separation of hardware and software. So what we see now, we see a lot of interest around SD-WAN. That will be the faster access to something of virtualized services. That will be, let's say, a mitigation kind of approach against IPVPN solution.
Okay. And what we were talking about a couple of minutes ago was Africa, it's just a bit of a different playing field from other markets around the world. I mean, can you just sort of expand on that a little bit?
So absolutely. So what is interesting with Africa is that there's not as much legacy services or legacy technologies that have been used against other countries or other regions like Europe, North America, and Asia. So what we see much more possibilities for greenfield scenarios and greyfield scenarios. Offering new possibilities and faster access to revenues for vendors and also operators.
Okay, perfect. And as you can see behind us, we've got a few screens set up. Can you just talk us through what you're demoing this week?
Absolutely. So the concept of what we do on the market is really to take advantage of disaggregated networks. So instead of having the centralization of application, we're trying to distribute application different point within the network infrastructure. Meaning that operators have POPs, then they want to leverage the POPs that they have. So to give you an example, we have the distributed cloud demo that we do with the Wind River and Silver Peak for SD-WAN. So the approach is really to have a data center infrastructure from which we can distribute the same instances for SD-WAN automatically through the edge. So the edge will be represented by the point of presence that operators have. So obviously leveraging the entire perspective of their service infrastructure. Now if you look on the left hand side, this is a good explanation of what is open source and proprietary solutions to be combined all together. What it means that we have leveraged our collaboration with CMC Networks, for which we have deployed SD-WAN solution on our white box solutions for them globally in Africa, and we have leveraged our relationship with Fortinet for SD-WAN and virtual firewall, ENIA for the virtualization layer, but also Clarify and Data Vision for orchestration solution. So what it means as well is that we can obviously leverage this aggregated network, taking advantage of the DC and the customer premises, but more than that, we can actually combine for the first time SD-WAN and SD-WAN NAV together and to not have monolithic solutions fully separated, but fully combined and infused as a combined solution.
Okay, perfect. And one final question,
sure,
because I know it's a busy day. What do you see as the future for Africa and connectivity?
This is a very large question, but obviously what you see in Africa, it's obviously lots of possibilities, lots of scenarios when you have a large landscape of countries, Pan-African operators. But what we see a lot of similarities of what we see in South America, because we have already started in South America, Asia, and then so they represent emerging countries. So changing the landscape of the market as we see fit. So actually, operators have a lot of ideas. They have a lot of possibilities because of greenfield scenarios that they have in front of them. So taking advantage of much more, innovations than any other, regions on the planet. For example, North America is trended with a lot of legacy technology and legacy, legacy technologies binding them in the past. The same in Europe. So you don't see the same possibility of leveraging new technologies as in emerging countries.
Perfect. Well, look, Yves, I know you've got a few meetings lined up, so I've stolen your time for long enough. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much for your time.
And see you soon.
It was a pleasure. Yeah.